All right, let's see if this one works a little bit better. And let's see, I'm going to need to refresh this, make sure that now we'll have two damn feeds on the same day. Let me do a couple things here that I would normally do off camera. Well, I want to get this thing rolling. And if it's not going to work, well, then we're just going to have to try it a different way. But I didn't do anything different than I normally do, and somehow getting different results. So let's make sure we have this on here. Okay. I hate when you get all these people that finally sign on and then this crap starts. And then we should be able to go back here. And here. This is the stuff that I do when off camera. Let's see if this is any better. Yeah, I want to see this. This is the screen I want to see. This will tell me if everything's running okay. And looks like it's still freaking frozen. Video's still frozen. I don't know how to make it better. I don't know how to make it better. I didn't do anything different than what I normally did. I just think there's just too much. There's too much live news eating up the bandwidth of everything to I haven't done anything differently. So I am getting notifications that there's something wrong, but I don't know how to make it better. I've never seen them before. Skipped frames. I don't know why the hell there's skipped frames. Your device needs to restart to install updates. Well, we're not doing that. I hate technology. Me too. I fucking hate technology. How about that? Oh, painting's hard. No, it's not. You know what's hard is dealing with this shit and not putting your fist through the screen. That's what's hard. Painting's all zen and shit. I hate technology. I'm your wingman. I'll be your wingman. Oh, well. Well, that stinks. Well, maybe it'll work in the morning. I don't know what the hell's going on. There's too many. This one I see it fine, but this is just exactly what I'm filming, not necessarily what's being sent to YouTube. And well, I actually see. God, why is it running so damn slow? I think there's too many news outlets putting fake news out there for you guys. Software-based products are almost ready for prime time. Yeah, I don't know how to make it better. I don't know. Is the audio coming in out okay? Look, and the quality's even garbage. It's not even at the high quality. Well, let's see. Painting is all of a sudden it cleared up. Okay. Well, let's give this a shot. Somehow it was I don't know. Let's just keep going until you guys had enough. Oh man. So we got this bullhead. Let's keep lightening up the red. You know, the other thing is this helps me stay on track, but if I spend all the time trying to fix this feed, which is outside my skill set, then I'm not getting painting done. So it kind of defeats the purpose. Technology is great when it works. When it doesn't, you wish it wasn't even invented. That's why I have no way in hell do I want to get into 3D printing. I am the wrong personality type to get into 3D printing. And I used to take drafting, so you'd think I'd be pretty good at it, you know? But if shit didn't work, you get everything configured right, you're like, all right, I'm going to build this whatever, and when I come home from work, it'll be ready to paint. And nope, you wasted a whole bunch of material, and then it's not done exactly right. It's half-assed, and now you got to wait another 8 hours, and you know, that's frustrating as shit. Let somebody else with the patience of a saint do it. Because, you know, my painting isn't quick. But I don't come up with something and all of a sudden everything I've done is out the window. It's constantly building upon itself. And if something doesn't turn out how I want it, I have the skill set to fix it. You running anything that maybe your bandwidth or someone else streaming? No, no one else is here. This is the one time that it should work better than any other time. I have no idea. You'd think that would be it. I don't know. I just think there's just too much news being broadcast using up the global bandwidth. I mean, look at how many live news channels there are. It's like NBC, ABC, CNN. Everybody's got a live feed, you know? And they're just repeating the same stuff, you know? And maybe not even showing you accurate footage. Oh, I don't know, you know? I am not a natural conspiracy type person. Okay? I'm not. That's not my go-to thing. Like some people just delight in conspiracies and stuff like that. But the first time they pulled that stunt of the whole Snake Island thing, where, oh, they killed everybody, and then, oh no, they captured them. Well, don't be so quick to say things are black when they're really white, you know, because you lose my interest. So, yeah, I'm not watching any of that feed. Audio and video are great. Okay. I just needed to say the magic word, Snake Island, and it works. Yeah, I don't, you know, I get, the media pisses me off. And I don't want them to tell me one thing one way or the other. I don't want them necessarily to reinforce my thoughts. I want you just tell me what's going on. And I'm a big boy. I can make up my own decision. I can do my own taxes, so certainly I can make up my own decisions on other stuff. But when you start lying to me and, you know, telling me things that are one way and then they're not, you just lose total credibility. And anyhow. So, the slowest blitzkrieg ever. So yeah, I think a lot of the bandwidth is tied into that, and that's fine. A lot of people are interested in that. I would be too if I had confidence that I'm getting an accurate representation of what's going on. So, anywho. But I'm not a conspiracy stuff. And there's some really unbelievable, crazy conspiracies out there that just seem like it's not possible. But I just mean just regular credibility. You know? And there's a couple things that just, right off the bat, just didn't seem right. I'm sure the Viking drums heralding. I think the Russians created a new battle tactic. I call it the Snailkrieg. I don't know what's going on. The first thing, I'll be honest with you, I don't want this to turn political. This is not really political. It's not really political. I don't think the Russians are great guys or anything. They've never have been. I just, I'm not quick to take the side. I'm not really quick to take one side and end up being like the Allies in World War II, where they had to make nice with the Russians to fight the Germans. They were both bastards. Okay. And I'm kind of in the George S. Patton camp, you know, when it comes to the damn Russians. But But the first thing that didn't hit me right is if you're invading a whole, you know, we as historical war gamers, if there's one thing that we know and we've read a lot about is casualties. And the casualties have been like the first couple days were just too low, way too low, like ridiculously way too low. So like that doesn't sound right. And I get it. You don't want to report casualties that didn't happen. You don't want to say, oh, well, you know, 600 people died in the first 30 minutes and it was really only six, you know, but a lot of those things start coming up and you're like, what's really going on here, you know? And I don't have any expectations like I expect it to be A, and if it's not A, I'm upset. I don't know. I'm just like the rest of you guys. If I wanted to take over the country, I'd be going about it a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, you know, it just seems like everything in there is like second tier. So where's all the good? Patton was great. He had a shitty voice though. I'll be honest. Hey, I call things how I see them. Okay, the guy had a shitty voice, but yeah, he was the last. That's back when we used to win wars. Yeah. He had a shitty voice. Sorry. Wouldn't want to screw with him though. So. Is the feed finally fixed? Okay, what's blocked? The Russians still don't have air superiority. See, that doesn't make any sense. If they really wanted to go in there, how can the Russians not have air superiority? It's stuff like that that just doesn't make any sense. You know, do they not want it? Why is their top tier stuff not in there? I'm not saying there's no armadas, but I'm just like, why would they invade? What's the muddy season? Ratiputsa or whatever it is? That's when the freaking they couldn't in World War II. That was the wrong time. That's what screwed the Germans. That stopped their advance, and it stopped the Russian counterattack too. It's the muddy season. Why would you go in then? I would have split the country in two from the north and the south and then mopped them up. I just don't get the tactics they're using. It's like they want to I don't know what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. And I think that, you know, we're war gamers. I'm just saying we have half of a clue. And modern combat's not my thing, but, you know, we have half of a freaking clue. It just doesn't make sense. It's been over a week, and I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. It's a shame that whatever it is, there's innocent people getting killed. Most of the people that are getting killed are just freaking innocent. It doesn't make any sense, you know? You know. And some people turn me on to the conspiracies, and I listen to them. They're extremely far-fetched. Let's hope they're not true. I'm just saying, let's hope those conspiracies aren't true, because that's some crazy stuff. Let's just hope the conspiracies aren't true. But you know, I'm a natural skeptic. You know, in this internet age, for the last 20 years, everything is kind of doesn't make sense. You know, but yeah. So we study casually. That's the first thing that didn't make sense. It's like, you know, why are we going? Why is it going about that? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. So. And there's a whole host of other things that don't make sense. Like, okay, let's say that this is really what they're doing. It's like, Be a perfect opportunity to pump our own oil out of here and sell it to Europe, right? I mean, that makes sense. Okay, all right, we can't count on them, so let's get our own oil, and the Europeans let's sell it to them. No, we're not doing that. Well, why aren't we doing that? That doesn't make any sense. But then, I'm not necessarily somebody that's corruptible. But I'm also not somebody who'd want that job either, so. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. So when it doesn't make any sense, you know what I do? I worry about this. I know somebody. Well, they're a fearmonger, anyways. This one particular person, he's been living in fear since COVID hit, and I don't think that they've had anything directly happen to them, but he thinks we're going to get in some nuclear war, and I mean, well, maybe we are, but what are you going to do? Not live? So. Hey, if we have a nuclear war, I don't have to worry about going to work the next day. Whew. I don't know. It just seems really strange. It seems very, very strange. Okay. I don't know if I can really tinker with that anymore and not really go down the wrong way here. Got all my AWI figures painted thus far and had them on parade. Have 2 full British line regiments, half a 5th line regiment, 4 batteries of artillery. My troops are coming along. If a nuclear war is going to happen, it will happen, but I don't for a moment believe it will. The whole situation is strange. Not sure what Putin stands to gain in all this. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't think he's a nice guy. I don't think he's a madman. And I think he's relatively smart. So it doesn't, I could be wrong, but it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. But, enough of that. Using a modified version of and his biggest problem is he's freaking short. I mean, if the guy was like, 5'10" or higher, like us normal sized people, we wouldn't be having this problem, right? I mean, can we all agree on that? I'd be a madman, but I need to be a little shorter. At least he doesn't have a mustache. Another bad sign. Short guy with a mustache. All right. Is my screen frozen again? Okay. So, all right, I think we've got this. We need to do the. So, what color horse do we want? Let's do it darker. Let's get this SS camo black. What if Putin is acting under duress, like someone secretly took over and has him at gunpoint or something like that? I don't know. Putin is under gunpoint. That's the person you really got to worry about. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, right? I guess we'll find out. Just what we need. Short guys with mustaches taking the world over, yeah? No more of that, please. We had enough. Enough of that. What did we have we had a conversation the other day. I don't know how this came up with me and the wife. It's something about baby Hitler. And it was, oh, I know what it was. It was that episode that I showed her of Love, Death, Robots. So if you ever seen Love, Death, Robots on Netflix, there's an episode about going back in time and changing shit. And the particular episode is pretty funny. I forget what it's called, but it involves going back and messing with killing Hitler at different times, and different ridiculous things happen. And I think I mentioned to her, some people had talked about in the past, like, would you go, if you knew Hitler was going to turn out the way it is, would you kill him as a baby? And I'm like, all day long, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you got to make sure it's the right baby. I mean, you can't just go, you can't just start, randomly killing people, But, yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, you got to get rid of that guy. You can't have people like that. Baby Stalin, too. Smother them together, But, that was an episode of, I think, Love, Death, Robots. I think that's what it's called. There's some crazy stuff in that. And I don't watch much TV, but sometimes I'll find something has a different take on things. And then it explored, like, depending on at what point it happened, it would just have a massive butterfly effect. Would have really unintended consequences. So that was an interesting episode, to say the least. Before he would have been conceived, but the issue with that is, would somebody far worse than Hitler arise in his place? Could be. One of my alternate realities always is, just let other than not have the First World War go off, let the Germans win the First World War. It couldn't be worse. Could it? It couldn't be worse. Or just let the Brits stay out of it. Don't honor that treaty. Looks like, yes, I did. I replaced it with a pin. Yeah, he had the same kind of lance as this guy. And I need to go to the other. I need to switch to the other feed because the other feed's in real time, and this one's like slow. Okay, so he had the same size lance as this one, and obviously this does not work well for a flag, so we need to replace that. This is what we did. This is what we did. So I just left the original one on there. They were pretty. I don't go out and just replace lances just for yucks. I decided to do that because I didn't want to have to go back and redo the whole situation again. Hold on. I think I meant to say A and I said B. Am I under duress? My natural inclination isn't to go out and replace lances. If they're too soft of a metal or they're an old figure that's been bent back and forth too many times is going to break, I don't want to finish painting the figure, be really happy with it, and then realize that, oh crap, this lance is going to break and I'm going to have to replace it. So that's the only time I'll replace lances. But this one's particularly long on purpose because we wanted it to have the flag on it. And, I didn't want to have a flag bearer that didn't have a shield because the flag bearers tend to not look very knighty. And if you have a knight general stand, which is literally the most powerful unit in the entire army, but then you only have one guy's a commander and one's one other knight. So you're having all of the knights in the stand represented by just one knight figure. It just kind of seems to dilute the strength of the stand, in my opinion. So, and I would have had to order more figures. So this guy's a badass and he can hold the flag and hold the shield at the same time. So, this guy's all world, He's world-class guy, so he can do both of those things. But that's the problem with the actual flag-bearing guys, is they tend to be almost not servants, but they tend to be they look like they're kind of a lower class, lower armored figure. And when you only have one stand that is knights and you're eliminating a third of the folks on it to represent a flag bearer, I don't really like the look of that. So you almost always replace pole weapons with metal. Those lead weapons look like bendy telephone poles. Yeah. I like pins. I like pins. You never have to worry about it again. You never have to worry about it again. It's done. So I am a big fan of them, and I got plenty of them without having to buy more. All right, we need to lighten this thing up, and I don't think I'm going to use white. I think I'm going to try using this light yellow and see what happens. Oh, snap. What's going to happen? So if I finish this guy tonight and stop there, I'm happy. Because then we'll do Stefan in the morning. And then dry, spray those dudes, and start working on some Polish knights. I should jump on the castle, but that's gonna take a whole lot of time. And honestly, I'm only gonna use that if I end up using a BUA, and there's no heavy foot to put in that BUA to begin with. So that castle can wait until the Polish allies are done. Besides, I want to paint more heraldry, man. I want to paint some of these. I want to paint some of these Falcon figures you guys have never seen before. Well, you may have seen them before, but they're elusive. Get your poles on. Like that. I don't like how knights behave, but I love painting knights. Friday Night Moldavians. That's right. Doesn't really ring off the tongue, but, doesn't roll off the tongue. I see photos of famously painted figures, but their weapons and bayonets are frequently bent. Really ruins the effect. Yeah. Yeah, there's a guy that kind of local that used to sell on eBay, and he would sell all kinds of stuff. Not painted very well, but he made zero attempt to straighten out the pikes and stuff. So he's got like these spaghetti pikes. Like, who's gonna buy that? At least straighten them for the picture. Oh well. Hey, who am I to tell you how to run your business? It's none of my business. None of my business. Let me make sure I don't have a. I don't. We're good. The daughter's away, and I may have to go pick her up after 9:30 or so Eastern Standard Time. So it's not anywhere near, but kind of want to get in the habit of checking to see if I've got any notifications. It's been raining off and on, mostly on today, and I didn't really want her to drive anywhere at night in the rain. Even though it's all slow speed limit stuff between here and there, I'll be happy to go pick her up. So, all right, I lied. I'm gonna add a little bit of white to it. Aha! It's not a lie. I'm just kind of winging this. Now, you won't be able to tell what this is actually going to look like until I am done with it being sprayed, because I don't know, it just adds an extra little coloration. Now, this is a dark horse, which is good, which means that we're going to be able to do a mid-range strap color and it not look bad. That's one thing I had to go really light on this one, because this is on this particular horse, because if not, you wouldn't be able to see all the accoutrement of the horse. How did my daughter do on that test she had to take? She did well. She's taken the ACT. So, trying to get the... I didn't realize you could take it multiple times to try to get your score up. So, she's really good at the school stuff. She's actually does better math than I can. I can't do that abstract math, and she apparently excels at it. I woke up this morning to that video you had on your channel there, Rick, of that old corn-fed woman. I think it was a woman. I'll be right back. I've got to get a beverage. So I guess the feed's working better. Maybe it was just all those drones were tying up all my feed. Wow, that's what it was. It was the damn drones. He launched a bunch of drones up or something. No, just one mic. Check out his check out when he does his walkthrough on his gaming area, man. It's like freaking utopia. Ah, the advantages of living alone. I remember back in the good old days. The good old days? I don't know, the different days. I had a 3-bedroom condo all to myself. I had one room to paint. And that's where I got used to socializing when I painted. So I had a buddy who would come over on Wednesday nights and we'd leave everything set up. Had one of these lights. Well, it wasn't a knot light, but it was a neon light, and we'd paint there. He'd leave his paints and stuff, and we'd chit chat and sometimes have a beer. And if we had that second beer, well, that was it. No more painting was going to happen, you know. And I didn't care because I had a couple beers in me. Didn't. But yeah, that was a Wednesday night ritual for 3 or 4 years there for a while. In the mid '90s. So, just back when we were painting 20s. Haha, I had 2 windows open. I still maintain it because I'm intimidated. I intimated the feed into working Tony. I don't know what you're trying to say. Yeah. Rick also cooks, though. He's got a really good way of making a milkshake on there. Check that out. Always nice to have somebody that I know that's is a shittier cook than I am. Well, in all due respect, I have no interest in doing that, because I'm always wondering, it just takes too long to cook at something. I already have a hobby that I already do that takes forever to accomplish anything. I'd rather not eat that. I'd rather not eat this thing that takes forever to make. So, my wife used to make cakes for like my, not professional or anything, but when my daughter was turning a, birthday or whatever, she made like cupcakes, and she made this cake that looked like a duck, and she was really good at it considering she just kind of figured it out as you went. But I just can't imagine doing something creative like this, and then all of a sudden, all right, let's see Tony's creation. What? No, you can't do that, So, yeah, that would be kind of weird for me to have somebody eat my figures. Or whatever my creation would be. Okay, we're going to use this green-gray, which has no green in it at all. And this is what we're going to use for the straps on the horse. Ah, the crap feed is starting to freeze and the audio going in and out. Okay, let me use the magic word, see if it works again. Snake Island! All right, did that fix it? Did the magic Snake Island word fix it? I looked what that place is. Why would you put anybody on that thing? It's like miles off the coast. It's defending nothing. I call bullshit. Uh-oh. We need to get a friend to poke a hole in this thing. The feed's going out again. I haven't done anything. I'm just sitting here. I don't know. I can't fix it. I can't make it better. I got like 10 notifications down here. It's skipping frames detected. I know, my people are telling me that. That's the Taliban and the Russians conspiring. All right. Paint the strappings on here. The red strappings will be saved for the big man himself, because that shit's expensive. So I did get a chance to take a look at some Polish heraldry, because that's coming up real soon. It's technically coming up next. And as I suspected, red is the dominant color. I mean, even it came out and said it. It was a dominant primary color was red. So I want to make sure that I don't add a ton of red on these guys as well, or it's going to be confusing as to who's the ally and who's the main body of the troops. But we're going to do the basing a tiny little bit different on the poles. So we'll still have the edge will still be in black, and probably still have some rocks and stuff, but we're going to change some of the bushes and stuff that are on there. Make them a little bit more lively. And see how we like that. So, see how that turns out. But that'll be on the... We'll be doing 3 stands of Polish Knights and a stand of Fast Blade. So... because they have to have one knight. Of the 3 elements, one of them has to be a knight. The other one can be a knight or a cavalry, and then the last one can be any of the other units in the army. So it can be a cavalry, it could be another knight, it could be a war wagon, I guess. It could be a fast blade, which is the most useful one. Bayraktar. I don't know what that means, Mr. Burns. No magic Snake Island this time, Tony. Yeah, I know. Bayraktar. Sounds like a war cry for either the orcs or the Klingons. I don't know shit about Klingons, so... Of the original Star Trek, I have caught 3 episodes. Twice the damn episode where they're on the freaking island. No, the planet where it's all controlled by the mob. So, stupid plot. So, I didn't grow up with that stuff. So, I didn't really grow up with watching Star Trek. So, I don't have the the word I'm thinking of, affinity for it. I think that if it was more like space battles with like the ships fighting each other, I'd probably get into that. It'd be just like naval combat, but in space, but not really my thing. Never really got into science fiction. Any science fiction I happened to watch, it was just because it was like the only thing that was on TV. That's all we had. When I was growing up, it was like, I want to watch TV on Sunday mornings. Well, what's on? Lost in Space. That's it. If you want to watch TV, it was either that or you're watching, religious stuff. And who wants to watch that? I guess there's some people that are just can't wait to get up and watch the 700 Club, but I'm not one of those. So, Lost in Space it was. So what's left? You're left with historical stuff, and you're left with fantasy. And I don't think there's very much. I don't think there's, well, certainly not back then, very much good fantasy. Turkish drones the Ukrainians are using, yeah. I don't really understand what troop types fast blades are supposed to be. Well, they can be all kinds of different stuff. They can be anywhere from, when I think of them, I think of guys like rodeleros. I know, I have to elaborate on that, don't I? That's the Spanish sword and bucklerman. So, guys that are not necessarily heavily formed, they're loosely formed, but they're choppers. So the fast blades and the Polish guys are axemen. So kind of loose order and fast stabby peoples. Yeah, so they're kind of trying to, all kinds of different things. I mean, honestly, I wish the game were called different stuff was called different things. I mean, Soloi should be skirmishers. Auxilia really should be like medium infantry. And, so the fast blades are stuff like the Egyptians have some, Spanish sword and bucklermen, those axemen for the Poles, some samurai are that way. So they're kind of loose-ish order. I honestly think they move too fast. I don't think their numbers are necessarily as high as their movement rates. I think too fast. I think their movement rate is a little too fast. If there was half-base movement rates, I think it would probably be better. Like, go ahead and let the Soloi move 3 base widths. And the fast Auxilia move 3 base widths. But the solid Auxilia, honestly, should be able to move 2.5. And same thing with the fast blade. The fast blade should be 2.5. And then the regular blade's 2. But, nobody asked me. And we've only played thousands of games. So, you can just disregard what I have to say. But you'd rather watch Johnny Quest. Yes! I used to watch that with my dad. And my dad was not much of a fantasy guy. He was a really well-grounded guy. And he's a professor type. And he really liked Johnny Quest. That's a show that I haven't watched a ton of episodes, but the ones I did, it was definitely with my dad. And Hogan's Heroes. Used to love watching Hogan's Heroes with my dad. I had an older dad, so he was, how old would he have been when I was born? Close to 50. 45? 46? 46 years old when I was born. So I had kind of an older dad, so I was born in 71, but probably should have been born closer to 1960. So, damn it, I could have been retired by now. That's one cartoon I would love to get on DVD sometime. You know what cartoon I grew up watching? And it was like the first anime that was out there. I think it was like the first anime that was out there. And it was called something else in Japan, but it was marketed here. It was called Battle of the Planets. And I always liked it. This was like actually, I think the cartoon's from like 70 or 71 or 72 or something like that. And it was redone for the United States audience because it's supposed to be like more violent and bloody, and you can't. I mean, it didn't have any nudity in it, but you couldn't have violence on the cartoons, whatever. So they kind of dumbed it down, and it was released in the late 70s when we lived in Alabama. I remember I would run home from school and watch that every day. Battle of the Planets, Gotcha Man or something like that. It was called in Japan or whatever. It was like Science Ninja Team, Science Space Ninja Team Gotcha Man or something like that. Anyways, I used to love that. Yeah. All the characters had bell bottoms and stuff like that, so it was cool. That was science fiction. Yeah, Johnny Quest. People couldn't handle Johnny Quest now with the Haji guy. People need to lighten up. I don't know. Maybe I got thick skin. That's on my to-do list is an Indian army soon. And I can't lie, part of the reason to play them is I can do funny voices. I'm not trying to downplay to certain nationalities. It's just fun to say certain things when they happen in a pretend voice. It's just part of the experience. You know, if I didn't like a nationality, it's more like I probably wouldn't build their army. You know, think about it. I don't like these guys. Why do you build this army? What? Yeah. Stream is working now. I know this because they sent the drones out. They shot all the drones. Used to watch combat with my dad. I never got to see it. So the thing about combat is it's all black and white, right? So like I'm out. I don't do black and white. I do foreign movies. I don't do black and white. I am a through and through color person. Didn't grow up with black and white TV. Especially World War II stuff, man. I want to see the uniforms in color. If I want to see black and white uniforms, hell, every book is filled with them, you know? You grew up watching G.I. Joe and Transformers. Don't forget Masters of the Universe. Yeah, I watched all that stuff. If you grew up watching G.I. Joe, okay, and G.I. Joe in particular, have you seen the stuff on Robot Chicken? That is some funny stuff. Go watch. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and go look up Robot Chicken, G.I. Joe, Fumbles. That episode is freaking brilliant. Mitch and mine, Mitch's one of mine and Mitch's favorites. There we go. Whew! Drink. G.I. Joe Fumbles. It was always Fumbles. Classic. Yeah, we all grew up on that garbage. Combat was a great show. Unfortunately, didn't age well. Watched a lot recently, and there's a lot of shaking my head moments. Yeah, I bet a lot of it plays like a propaganda thing, doesn't it? I grew up watching, same time period, I grew up watching, anytime the war movies that were on TV, it always seems like the same ones were on. Always had Battle of the Bulge on or Guns and Navarone. That was my go-to movie. I've seen Guns and Navarone so many freaking times. Of course, part of it is I wanted that Guns and Navarone playset. Never got it. Big old freaking mountain. Doesn't look like the one in the movie at all, but... Guns and Navarone. I remember always trying to find out where that damn island was on the map. It's just then I find out, it's just make-believe. Sons of bitches! I spent so much time looking for that place in the Aegean, I didn't know where it was. And I was always wondering, like, if it's that small, just ignore the damn thing. Just like, we got these two huge guns on this mountain that are, two 11-inch guns are on this mountain just blowing everybody away. Right, we'll go over here. Just ignore the hell out of them. They're pointed over this way, just go somewhere else, Add in Voltron. Never watched Voltron. He-Man, Thundercats. My brother was into Thundercats, even though he claims he wasn't. Never liked the Turtles. I don't know about the Dragon Ball thing. In 44, we had black and white. Really? Used to watch Robot Chicken in the early 2000s. Yeah. I have no problem with foreign movies. Honestly, I prefer them because, if you watch a movie that has somebody almost everybody is typecast. They're either always a hero or they're always a troubled hero or they're always the bad guy or, you've got all these guys that almost every single person is typecast. Are they still typecast? I don't know. In the 80s, they always were typecast, Like, you'd always have somebody like Michael Ironside who's going to be a bad guy, Who's that one guy that was the guy that was in the 80s that ended up being like the lead? And I've only seen, it's funny because of the old movies, this is a movie I wouldn't mind seeing again because I've only saw it once. and it's a movie from the 80s that I remember when I saw it, it was the goriest thing I had seen up to that point, and that was RoboCop. Remember the guy that played the main bad guy in RoboCop? What's his name? Randy Cox or something like that. Anytime he was in it in the 80s and early 90s, he was a dickhead. Every single time he was going to be like, you know, you couldn't trust that guy. He'd be like, who's the guy now that plays? Oh man, here we go with names again. I can picture the guy, and I can't think of Jonathan Pryce. Jonathan Pryce is always a dickhead. You know, they put him in something, and it's like he might be a nice guy in real life. If he shows up somewhere, it's like, nope, that guy's gonna backstab you. You know, every time. You took Guns and Navarone out from the library along with Cobra Kai. Going to watch it tomorrow. Okay, there you go. I haven't seen Cobra. I never got into the Karate Kid stuff, so. So if you like G.I. Joe, when my daughter was younger, they came out with, I want to say it's Renegades. And it was pretty, I liked the animation in it. Same thing with the Transformers. They did, I think it's called Transformers Prime, and it's like computer animation-ish. And I really like the animation. It looks really, I mean, I'm not a cartoon person now, but I appreciate what that looks like. My whole thing with animation is it better look better than what I can draw. If I can draw better than that, and I'm not really an artist, but I've got a clue. If I can draw better than that, then I don't want to see it. Cobra Kai is good but campy. I haven't watched, I just don't get into the, oh yeah, Robot Chicken Star Wars. Yep. Your lord? My lord? The escalator thing. Or he gets in the elevator with all those squid people. It's like, smells like a freaking fillet of fish sandwich in here. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, some of that stuff is really priceless. Priceless. Yeah. I'd love to do voiceover stuff, but you know. My brother claims that something happened in comedy about 2008 where it just changed and it's no good anymore. When everybody gets butthurt over stuff. I'm like, let's make fun of everything. At the end of the day, it's just humor. And it makes us all feel better. And if you can't laugh at yourself, it's not comedy. You know? It's no hard feelings. It's just make fun of everything. You know? That's what I like. You watch any of my videos, that's what we do. We're old school. We laugh about everything. Oh, let's not even start with Kelly's Heroes. So, Kelly's Heroes. Here's the thing about Kelly's Heroes. If you, Cobra Kai is indeed good, but like you said, campy. I feel it's way too snowflake at times with the bully crap throughout. Kelly's Heroes, okay? If you haven't caught my comments on Kelly's Heroes, I hate that movie. Now, a couple things. I've only seen it once, and it was a while ago. I like everybody, I like the whole cast, except the German tank commander who looks like he shouldn't be near children, okay? Other than him, I like all the other actors. I have no problem with the actors. It's a good cast. I just don't like the 70s hippie feel to it. I know it was done for particular reasons. So, there's another reason, there's another movie, and I thought about this because the same person that I know likes both of these movies a lot. There's another movie that came out recently that someone recommended to me that I did not like at all, even though I liked the cast. And it was, again, for similar type reasons, even though it wasn't like a 70s feel, and that was The Death of Stalin. I did not like The Death of Stalin at all because nobody made an effort, well, maybe one person, to speak with a Russian accent. I'm like, that's just stupid, okay? And they just use way too many famous people. And, you know, anyways, I like, what's his name? Who's the guy? The guy that looks like Christopher Plummer. The guy that I always get mixed up with Christopher Plummer, the English guy. The guy that played Zukov. I can't remember what his name is. I'm terrible. I don't think about actors all day long, so anyways, I like him as an actor, and but he goes oi, like why would you do that when you're playing a Russian? It just doesn't make any freaking sense. So I did not like Death of Stalin, even though I like the actors that were in it. You know, I need to change the name of the painting and bullshitting. Okay, conversations going on during these sessions, always entertaining. I'm going to do that. We're here having a good time. You guys want to talk about something? Bring it up, Yeah. You can't stand computer animation or CGI animation. I have a hard time watching modern anime because of that. I can't get into the subject matter of anime. If you look at Asian stuff, let's take the big three. Japan, Korea, and China. Okay? Koreans love historical stuff. Historical movies. I don't know if it's realistic. It probably isn't. But it doesn't matter. There's so much Korean historical drama stuff on there that's interesting. The Chinese, they do some, and then they do things that aren't related. And the Japanese, you would think the Japanese would be like, oh, we have all these cool samurai stories and stuff like that. No, they're like freaking schoolgirls with freaking Uzis and zombies and stuff. It's like, come on, man. You guys have such a rich history. I'm not saying you can't do any of this schoolgirl stuff. For those people that are into that, I'm not into that. But there's so many cool samurai things that just can write themselves, Tank Commander has big lips. Yeah, don't leave him near children, Only good thing about Kelly's Heroes is the iconic theme song. Oh no. You're watching Seinfeld, and I'm like, nothing on TV is funny anymore. So, maybe I should give Seinfeld It was on at a time where I didn't have cable. So I never watched it, live when it was going on. And it's too New Yorky for me. I mean, I live in America, but I don't live in New York. And it's a little too... Like, to give you an example, okay? Friends. Friends is in New York. Friends isn't very New Yorky at all. And as a matter of fact, our family, well, I'd seen many episodes. And when my daughter came of age, we watched them all the way through. And we really loved that series. But that's one that has more of an appeal for other places in the United States. But when something becomes too, like, Big Apple, I'm just kind of tuned out. I just can't really relate to it. It might as well be like another planet. And I've been in New York, and it is another planet. So... You agree about the hippie vibe and Kelly's Heroes. I'm willing to watch it again. Like I said, I like all the actors. It's not an actor's thing. But yeah. The other thing that we're working our way through, and we've only done one so far, is I want to watch all the Bond movies in the order that they came out with the daughter. And with the daughter and my mom and my brother. So we're all going through them all. And we only made it through one, and my mom's on a trip. She's out of the country for a couple more weeks. But we'll probably pick them up and watch them. So we watched Dr. No, and I had scared my daughter straight. I've seen all the Bond movies except the new one and maybe two other ones. And I don't remember exactly which ones they are. But I've seen all the early ones. So it was definitely either... I want to say I didn't see one of the Dalton ones. I haven't seen GoldenEye. I know GoldenEye is the best one of that particular actor, right? And I haven't seen the newest one. And I haven't seen Solace. And I want to watch... I just want to watch them through in order. And I'd scared my daughter into telling her that, the first one's really, really boring. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that boring. And she stuck with it. So I'm like, she's 16, going on 17. She can handle it, as far as being entertained or whatever. And it was okay, Don't forget about Girls and Panzers. Schoolgirls that fight in pan. Yeah. Why can't they just use Japanese tanks, you know, or get German girls, you know? It doesn't make any sense. You know, I used to work at a hobby store, and you know, all the best models at the time were all made in Japan, right? Tamiya, however you call it. We used to call it Tamiya, even though it's wrong, probably. They were my favorite models, okay? Japanese company. They made like 2 Japanese tanks. Everything else was German, a Brit, 2 American tanks, German. I'm like, why? You know, I mean, hey, German tanks are cool, but you know, other people had tanks also. Oh yeah, a couple Soviet vehicles too, you know. This fascination with Panzer. Wer ist mein Panzer? Strange. Japanese schoolgirls and German tanks. What's next? Nuns and Soviet tanks. Bible Belt preachers and Italian tanks. There's a World War II spoof movie I watched in the 90s, but I can't remember what it was called. The only thing I remember was a couple of German Fallschirmjägers stuffed rocks in their commander's parachute. Haven't seen that one. Fallschirmjägers. There was a... Speaking of Fallschirmjägers, I used to be a 1/35th scale modeler. And I was searching something on eBay, and I came across a 1/35th scale set. And it was a figure set. And it had like 2 U.S. paratroopers and 2 Fallschirmjägers and like these girls bathing. And I don't know if they were fully naked or they were just naked from the waist up. But I'm like, that's... Back in the late 80s, early 90s, they had these white metal... They might have been 1/35th scale. They might have been bigger. And they were, I don't know what the lead vixens, or they had some kind of sexually innuendo type of name. And it were like all these type, either fully naked or half naked figures. And they wouldn't show you pictures of them or whatever. But I'm like, really? I mean, it's fine if people want that. But it's like, okay. But it was something released recently. It was like a couple of U.S. troops and some... I don't remember exactly what Allied troops it was. It wasn't Russians. It was 2 Fallschirmjägers. That's what reminded me of it. And they're like peeking around a corner, and there was a couple of girls bathing together, and they weren't doing anything with each other. They were just, you know, it was some nudie figures. I'm like, people still do that, huh? Used to work in a hobby store. Yep. Part-time, yep. Early 90s. Japanese have a hard crush on German armor. I feel I missed out on that in my youth. Not working retail in a game shop is something I regret. Yeah, it's not what it's cut out to be. Can't pay the bills with that. Everybody thinks that... I was hearing somebody talk about it recently. They said, oh, you don't want to work retail. I've worked retail. Retail's not that bad. I don't want to work food because I don't want to know what goes on, because I wouldn't eat at a restaurant. But retail, what's gross about retail? You know? I don't know. I've worked retail. It's not that big a deal. I don't want to work at a restaurant. Fast food restaurant. Especially not now. Hey, you got to have those crap jobs so you can appreciate a better job. If all you do is, you know, if your first job is vice president of a company, I don't think you're going to be a very good manager. Mr. Gross, welcome. You retracted your message. Uh-oh, did you drop the F-bomb? I know you wouldn't. You didn't say dang, did you? Oh, man. Who the hell says dang? Rick, by the way, was that a native Oklahoman? No, you're in Nebraska. Same difference. You get one of those states in the middle with a tail. You just have a thick tail. Is that a native Nebraskan? You've done a lot of 135th scale armor. I really enjoy that. This ad has popped up for me lately on Amazon. Which one? For that show? Girls un panza. I don't know. Some of that stuff is just in poor taste. I have some pretty thick skin. But I don't get... If you've ever been to Historicon or something like that, you've seen like the people that sell like the 10 signs. They'll have like this... And it doesn't offend me because I'm not really offended by it. But it's like... That's just kind of poor taste. They'll have like these 10 signs and it'll be like this German Panzer girl. And she'll be all dressed in the Panzer gear like she's some German tank commander. But she's extremely skimpily dressed. Which, I don't necessarily mind. But, she's... sprawl on this tank, and it's almost like this half pornographic World War II type just covered in iron crosses, and it's like, I don't want somebody to see that in my house. I don't want to wear that in a t-shirt. It just sends the wrong message, It just sends the wrong message. I have a 135th scale tank with full interior on my desk. Wackiest ship in the Army. 1960. Jack Lemmon, a great action comedy movie. Huh. Is it in color? Tell me it's in color. I don't mind old movies. As long as they're in color. And I have seen old movies that are black and white, and I also felt like I'm missing something. And, it's the color. No, apparently that woman is in Mississippi. Oh, yeah. Pride of the country. Mississippi right there. A place with your coastline is pure mud. And it's even hotter than Florida. I know they might have a beach or something, but I remember we took a route through the southern part of Mississippi by the coast, like near Gulfport, and all it was like mud banks and not exactly super appealing. All right, it's time to give this guy some metal. Time to get metal. Time to get metal. What am I supposed to call this feed tomorrow morning? Bullshit? What is it? Painting and bullshit? Yeah, we could do that. No retracting, just a mispost. Okay, I don't blame you because that annoys me with I'm a really good speller but I'm a really bad typer. So I'll get all the letters there, but they'll be in the wrong order, and I don't want somebody to judge me by spelling and Yeah, I get that. The Bikini Girl Minis. Yeah, I did time in 135th scale, but I'd get a kit, and then something would come across. I would get to a point where I had to decide to do A or B, and I'm like, analysis paralysis. I'd buy another kit, so I'd have a bunch of kits that were half finished. I finished a few, but son of a! I just yawned and my jaw cracked big time. You mispost a lot of alcohol. Well, Yeah, that's okay. No alcohol for me. I just fall asleep. I just fall asleep. I'd behave better. I'd be more fun. I'm fun at parties, but I don't do crazy stuff either, though. I never did. I learn by other people's mistakes. Let me make sure I don't have any notifications here from my daughter. Okay, no, doesn't look like it. What are we drinking, Randy? That is a good question. Spencer Wright, welcome. Rick, I got a couple of new pieces of wonderful handmade German terrain. Man, what does Randy like to drink? I don't drink anything sweet. I'm the anti-Mitch. And I don't cook, but I like to make drinks. But I don't make them anymore because, well, first of all, we never drink. And second of all, I've just been enjoying drinking things full octane because then you don't overdrink. You know, if you know that you're basically drinking something that's like as strong as fuel, you don't overdrink it. It's a lot safer, and you start making something like my Tom Collins that you're like, man, I'll have 12 of those. And then you go to stand up and then you got a problem. Like, yeah, and I'm just better off just drinking scotch over ice or whatever. Whiskey over ice. Actually, don't even remember the last time I had a drink. Oh, yeah, I did. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? I think it was last weekend. We found out there was some band here at the local little town, and they were doing all they did was cover stuff for Styx and Journey, and they were actually really good. They didn't look like either one of the two bands, but they were actually really good. Really, really good. So, Breckenridge Bourbon. I have a place there and visit a distillery often. You have a place in Breckenridge. Okay. I've been there once. Wife's been there twice. Ever listen to a power metal band called Sabaton? Yeah, they're like from Sweden or something like that. I haven't. I have not. It's in color. Ricky Nelson co-stars. Okay. No, I know they sing about different historical events and stuff like that. I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about that genre of music. I used to like it, but a lot of it is just not melodic enough. And I don't mean like, what I mean by that is sometimes, let me give you an example. I don't like Metallica at all. Never have. I just think it's not melodic enough. I don't like the vocals. If you do, that's fine. That's why they make all kinds of different music. I'm more of an Iron Maiden person, but sometimes there's too much drums in it. But when you get a couple of guitars and they're working together and you've got this nice harmony, melody, whatever. I don't know what the difference is between the two. Harmony, melody. I'm not an artsy music person. I'm an artsy painter. And but when they're working together, there's some of that stuff that I really like. But there's a lot of stuff on YouTube that has no vocals, which, no vocals means the song can be about whatever you want the song to be about, right? It's not like, because there's a lot of music that I like growing up from the 80s and stuff like that, that a lot of the songs are about cheating on people, which I can't relate to because I'm like, I would never cheat on someone, just, you don't like her, just get rid of her, dump her, and then you can do whatever you want. But that's against my moral code. But if the song doesn't have words, the song could be about whatever the hell you want it to be about. I'm sure you can't sing along, but you can air guitar along, or air bass, whatever. So there's a lot of really good stuff on YouTube that just blows away the stuff that used to play on the radio and stuff like that. So I have not listened to Sabaton, though. I have heard from from first rate fell in Poland. Both extremely nice. There you go. Good Irish whiskey on the rocks. Bourbon as well. Absolutely. Life is like a black and white movie when you don't have a glass of bourbon. Now you want to watch Casablanca. I've seen it, even though it's in black and white. Not a Bogart fan. Sorry. Although I have seen, what's the other black and white movie I saw? Maltese Falcon. And I think I liked it, even though it's black and white. My favorite old movie that is not something like Ben-Hur, not some kind of a War Gamers movie, okay? The most recent Iron Maiden album is their best ever, and those dudes are 60. I don't know. I grew up listening to Live After Death a lot, and I really like that live album. So, it's actually, my brother got tickets to go see him in Tampa. So, if there's no kind of restrictions, we're probably going to go see him. And hopefully, see, I'm not much of a groupie, okay? So I don't need to meet people. I don't misbehave in public. I don't push people. I'm not a mosh pit guy. And I have zero tolerance for people that are barbarians like that do shit like that. So I've been to only a couple of concerts, and none by them. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with the fans. So I think it'll be cool. I hadn't listened to them in a long time. I hadn't listened to them since their what's their album? Fear of the Dark. I hadn't listened to them since between Fear of the Dark and now. So I had to catch up on a lot of stuff, and I don't have a lot of this stuff. I don't have the stomach for that I used to anymore. But because I like the guitar riffs and the melodies and stuff like that. What the song's about, and if it's too disjointed or chaotic, I don't really care for it. But I don't know. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be interesting. So you saw Styx at a Strawberry Fest a few years ago. Yeah. Yeah. What's the name of that? Hallowed Be Thy Name. I like Hallowed Be Thy Name. Anyhow, but I'm not a fanboy. Like, I actually proposed a question to my wife the other day. Was like, if you had a chance to spend an evening with anybody, and I don't mean anything inappropriate. I just mean like have dinner with somebody famous. Who would it be? And I don't think that she was able to come up with somebody, and I couldn't either. But I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not that thing. This is the mini set with the GI spying on the girls bathing. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was something like that. Masterbox U.S. and German paratroopers south of Europe. Okay. So they were both paratroopers. Okay. You had a chance a couple years ago to see Led Zeppelin cover band with John Bonham's son on drums, but didn't go. If I can't see the real Led Zeppelin, I don't want to see the fake ones. Okay. Yeah. Not a big Led Zeppelin fan. Doesn't mean I'm downplaying. It's just not my thing. I had a friend of mine whose favorite song he was older, was Black Dog. And he would always, it'd come on the radio. Back when they used to play rock music on the radio. And he would, he would sing along to it in, the disjointed way that kind of song sounds. But I think a lot of their music is not very traditional sounding. And that's probably why I'm not a fan, but I also didn't grow up with it. That doesn't mean I hate it. It's just not my, not my thing, I like their rock and roll song. That song I like. It's actually on my 70s playlist song. But that's why they make lots of different stuff, Doesn't mean I don't think they were talented. It's just not my thing. Yeah, so this band went and they were doing like one Journey song and one Styx song. And they didn't look like either band, but that singer's got some talent because it's not easy to follow in the footsteps of those two people, especially Perry. And I think he did a damn good job. I was really surprised, but I was also disappointed because they didn't play my two favorite Styx songs, which were Renegade and Blue Collar Man. That's my two favorite Styx songs, and they played neither of the two songs. You know? Oh well. You're with you on the Zeppelin. Zero tolerance for people who misbehave in public. Absolutely, it's a real sore point with me. Yeah, some people just never had a belt taken to them. I'm waiting in my cold cell. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that's a cool song. And the Charlotte the Harlot song, I like that one too. That's some of the older stuff. Oh well, it's just music, you know. It's just something. I had a opportunity. I kind of got spoiled. A buddy of mine when I was working at the hobby store, he had won. He was a big Rush fan, and I don't dislike Rush. I probably like them more now than I used to back then. But in the early '90s, they had won. He had won two tickets to go see him, and the rock station sent him two, and the venue sent him two. So he was like, "Hey, here's two tickets." And I knew there's another friend of mine who was a big Rush fan. I'm like, "Hey, let's go." So we all went up there, and Candlebox was opening for him, and our seats were good. We're like just floor level, but we had seats, so you couldn't just misbehave and stuff. And we were probably 16, 17 rows back, and after Candlebox opened for him and everything, I'm like, oh, let's see where Mike is or whatever. And he was in the front row. He was like front row tickets. And there was, I think, three next to him. He's like, hey, why don't you come up here? And I'm like, man, I'm not going to sit in somebody else's seats. He's like, no, there's nobody up here. You can come. And I'm like, all right, here's the deal. I'll come up here. But if somebody shows up, we're leaving because I'm not that guy, okay? And so we got to see Rush front row for like the first seven songs. It was amazing. And I'm not even a Rush fan. That doesn't mean I don't like them. Actually, I think they're pretty cool now. But after seeing that, I'm like, I want to be on the front row. Or I don't want to go because you don't go for the sound quality. You go for the cool factor that they're right there. And I don't need to touch them. I'm not one of those people. But it's cool. It's something you can't experience by watching it on TV, etc. So yeah, I kind of got spoiled with that. So I don't know. I was like 92 or 93. That was a Roll the Bones tour. So that was a cool experience. But I don't think anybody misbehaved, or anything like that. The Beatles were the best band. I like their early stuff. Once they start hitting those drugs, and stuff was just kind of chaotic. That's not really my thing. Rush is the best band. Yeah, that's a lot of, they didn't move around a lot, but they're pumping out a lot of noise with just three guys. They're pumping out a lot of noise, so they're busy. You saw an ABBA cover band. It was fun. My 15-year-old son loves ABBA. Okay. A lot of the music from the 70s. The worst thing about it was the shit that they wore while they were playing it. Not necessarily the music per se. Like, is disco great? No, but it's not as bad as the stuff that they were wearing while they were playing it. Styx's new album, there's a really good song called Radio Silence. I'll check it out. Yeah, I saw that they were actually at Universal Studios last month, and I was going to go with the daughter, but she had too much homework. I was going to take her down there and watch them because, if you got passes to that, you get to see it free. And, I don't mind seeing old stuff or, washed up people, as some people would call them. It doesn't have to be the latest and the greatest. I don't like the music that's currently playing these days, so the old stuff is just fine by me. We didn't get a chance to, so I'll check Radio Silence. Good stuff. What were we calling this? What were we going to call this channel? Painting and bullshit? Let me know. We'll name that episode tomorrow. It is. We're just hanging out together. I would get a lot more painting done if I wasn't filming and I wouldn't get sidetracked in these things. But I also may have stopped painting an hour ago. How long have we been on here? 2.5 hours? No, an hour and a half. Oh, that's it? Okay. Yeah. And this, I don't mind having discussions. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. You guys can have your, hey, it's just like old school. We can all have different opinions on things. Not like, well, you got to believe what I say or you're wrong. Come on, man. You're not going to convince me. I don't need to convince you. You can like Kelly's Heroes and ketchup, and I don't know if there's room for us in this world if you like ketchup. We've had this conversation before. I'd like Kelly's Heroes before I'd like ketchup. What do I dislike more, communism or ketchup? I don't know. It's pretty close toss up there. Tony and bell bottoms, hell no. Did I ever look into the Monument brushes? I did, and unfortunately, you had to buy them through them, so I never got them. But I did buy some brushes that are made in the U.S., but I haven't tried them out yet. They're over here in special storage. We haven't used them yet. They're in my complaint department. Please take a number. Here's your grenade with a 1 on it. Should have this at work, but anyhow. I haven't tried those out yet. So, I did check out the Monument, and they looked like they were cool, but I was hoping I could get them through Amazon, because I don't want to pay for shipping. I don't want to know that I'm paying for shipping. Let's put it that way. You came across a band called Greta Van Fleet, and I swear the lead singer sounds a lot like Robert Plant. I thought it was his son or something. Love Me Do. So we went on a cruise last year. And there was a band that did Beatles. It was a Beatles cover band. And the guy looked just like John Lennon. He probably got picked on his entire freaking life. But it was his time to shine when he joined that band, because he looked exactly like John Lennon. And they were really good. And what they did is, like, one night they would go and they would do it by album. So I wanted to catch their early stuff. And yeah, I like their early stuff. Okay. We're still doing metal. Yeah, and I like people that do cover bands, because you get more than one band sometimes. I remember we went to this one place in Orlando that used to be called, they closed it now or repurposed it. It used to be called Pleasure Island. It was part of Disney. It's their big thing. Then there used to be like a bunch of little clubs. It was all, you paid one admission and you have all these clubs, and you have like a dance club with a revolving floor, and you had one that was like a country one, and they had a stand-up comedy one, and all this kind of stuff, and it was really cool. They had one band there, kind of out in the open, and they turned around and played Led Zeppelin, turned around and played AC/DC, and it sounded just like, well, Disney can afford to pay, the top of the top, and it's cool to, be able to see those guys doing their thing, Or pretty dang good, as Tony would appreciate. I was shocked how 70s rock they sounded. The band consists of kids who are like 20. I asked earlier when the feed was a problem, did you design that red, yellow bull flag? So what I did was, so here's my secrets to flags. The one that's in the corner there. Go on, and remember, I'm not a technological person. Okay, so I'm not an idiot either, but programs should be easy to use. I am a college gadget, and go and find a piece of clip art and or on Wikipedia or something like that, and find this flag. So this flag was basically in two colors. It was red and yellow, and I go and load it up in the painting program I use is called Sketchbook. It's made by Autodesk, the people that make AutoCAD, and I have my computer is a dual. You could fold it up and it's it's got a pen you can use and all that stuff, and it works as a tablet. And I just shaded it, as you can see there, just like if I was doing my painting thing, but just electronically. And then just flipped the image and printed it. And it turned out like, as soon as I find it. It turned out pretty good. And it's easy to do, but it was only in two different colors. So there was a yellow color and a red color. So what I did is I took the red color that it was and just basically filled the entire area with a much darker red, and then worked my way up the reds. Same thing with the yellow, just to add that extra contrast. And, bam, done. It's real easy. So you have that mug at work. That's right. It's a great mug. It's a great mug. See, this is good. I only have 5 viewers, but all you guys are real active. I don't care if I don't get this guy done tonight. He'll get done in the morning or whatever, It's not a big deal. So what was this channel going to be called? What's tomorrow's feed going to be? Morning bullshit with... I'll call it that. I ain't scared. Maybe we won't call it bullshit. Maybe, farting around with Tony. And I don't mind giving away all my secrets. What am I going to do? Take them to the grave? Some people are scared of giving away their secrets. I know people that, talking about DBA, that would teach somebody else to play DBA and then keep secrets away from them so they can pull on them in the middle of the game. Now, that's not necessarily anybody that I learn how to play DBA with, but I know of others. And I'm like, dude, man, wouldn't you want your opponent to play as well as they can so that you're challenged in a real tournament? I mean, that's my mentality. Why wouldn't I want them to, I'm going to teach them every single trick I can so that I am challenged as a player. And when I get into a tournament setting, I don't have to fret about decisions because I've seen it all before, and we play hard. But other people don't look at it that way, Only person I share a birthday with is Alleyway Alley, this homeless woman who lives behind the convenience store. She'll take out her teeth and let you take a selfie with her for a Three Musketeers bar. Wow. There's so many homeless people in this country, they even have them in Nebraska. Wow. Okay, this guy's got boots. Well, we're going to have to null oil his ass, so let's go ahead and get the null oil out. Not that one, not the brown one. That's the Agrax shade something or another. Some make-believe Games Workshop name. That flag is great. I assumed you painted it with the shading and highlights on it. Yeah, it's really easy to do, man. It took 30 minutes. I did the one that's really good, not to toot my own horn, is this one. Same thing. And this one you should be able to get close enough. It almost looks like denim. Let's see. Let me zoom this out so I got a little bit more space to get work in here and not get this flag. This is the flag that I use for Edward the Bruce, which is for his Irish invasion flag, and it's on my figure. But it even looks like it even had some of the texture there of the flag. This thing looked amazing. Just turned out really, really well. And they're fun to do. You can do them when you're watching television with a family, and, you know. But the original one is off of Wikipedia or something like that, or something similar. You add extra details to it. You share the birthday with the U.S. That would be July the 4th. Not a fan of people like that. I'd rather be challenged by my opponents instead of beating them all the time. Yeah, if you know you're going to win, why bother play the game? Appreciate your comments about sketchbook, etc. I'll pursue it. Yeah, if I find something that's cool and it's user friendly, definitely use it. Now that program is so powerful. You're not even going to use even a small portion of what it can do. And I've watched videos on how to get better at it. Those people are experts, man. They're like, click on this and click on the other thing and move this thing and put this on this layer and I'm like, whoa, stop. Replay, play it. Nope. If I've stopped and replayed and played it like 6 times and I still can't get it, you're going too fast, dude. So you just muddle through it and you'll eventually get it. And it's free, so if you don't like it, if it doesn't work for you, you didn't waste your time on anything. The video thing I was using for a little while when I was editing stuff on my computer, my videos, is called DaVinci Resolve. Dude, that thing is so powerful, you could make commercials for NBC on it. And it's totally unnecessary, and it was just too difficult to use. So I edit videos on my phone with my simple app because I don't need super complicated editing things that are going to take half of my life to edit. Because if I'm editing videos, guess what? I'm not painting. And if I'm not painting, then there's no new armies to show you guys battle videos at, and that's what I'm about. I'm not about making perfectly edited videos, There's other people that are experts at that stuff, But a lot of these programs are just way too powerful. Especially for an editing video. I mean, everybody knows how to edit it. You may have never shot a video or edited a video, and you know how to do it. Okay, there's going to be music. We're going to start with this, and then it's going to fade, and then it's going to change into this scene. You know where all the things are. If you watched any kind of programming on TV, you know how it works. You just need something simple, not well, you need to go in here and add this program. No, it's just too damn complicated. Bring the holy oil of Nuln. What kind of boots does he have? These boots are made for riding. That's what kind of boots he has. Same year, too. Not the holy oil of Nuln, anything but that. That's right. The comfy oil. These boots are made for riding. I gotta go to the potty. I'll be right back. also just have a painting session where it's a theme painting session. I can have one where we talk about movies or something like that. I'm not a huge movie watcher, so it'd be kind of a low. It would be a really short conversation, but I got this one guy that I know, and he's famous for liking everything. I mean, this guy likes everything. You know, you got people that are like the complainers. I'm way closer on the complainer edge. You know, I certainly don't like anything. But especially with the budget some of these movies have, you think they'd do something better than that. But really enjoy the battle videos. We do too. It gets to the point where I don't want to play a game without being filmed. Not because I'm trying to be famous, but there's so many cool things that happen that if you told somebody about them, they wouldn't believe you. They wouldn't believe you that all of these coincidental things like, there's no way I can lose unless you roll a 1, and they roll a 1, and you know, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we enjoy doing them. We enjoy doing them, and they could be better detailed, but it's, you know, in other words, they could be a higher quality video. But in doing so, it's going to take more processing time, and I really don't want to include that. So I've kind of kept them down to a minimum of editing. So yes, it could be better. I've done videos, some of the older ones are, you know, where we panned across the troops and stuff like that. I really don't want to slow down the whole process. So, you know, that's really, if I've ever almost stopped making videos, it's because the damn process of editing the video is just painful. So, all right, we're going to use red leather. We're going to give this guy some red leather boots. Don't worry, it's not going to be that bright because that would just be silly. This guy's not important enough. This guy's not pompous enough to have boots of that color. And while I'm at it, I might as well paint his fleshy parts this color because this is what we use for the fleshy parts. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that. And there's not a whole lot of fleshy parts showing. We have a hand here. And we have a face. Another guy with a mustache. Once again, they got to be like the leader. Oh, the leader's got a mustache. I got to have one too. I think it's kind of hard to pull off a mustache. You got to be careful with his mustaches. You don't end up looking like Ron Jeremy. That's a great idea. To have like a theme thing, well, might be kind of limited. You guys could talk about, yeah, it's a little too controlling. You guys talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. Everybody's behaved so far. You know, the only monitoring I have to do is I've got to monitor all the comments on my videos because otherwise some people will come out and say things that you don't want on a video. Like, you know, one guy tried to start a jihad. You know, you don't need to do that on my channel. You know, they were upset that I was playing a Muslim army and they lost. And trust me, I was trying to win with him. You know, it is just a game, and he got like all upset, and I'm like, I had to take him off the channel. I'm like, geez, man, it's just a game, man. And then I had somebody the other day that decided to put like some link to like some porn sites. I'm like, come on, go away. You have the entire internet to do that. Leave me alone, okay? Go away, you nefarious bastard. No nefarianism here. The Best feature of those battle videos are when you talk through your move options and explain why. And you know what? I love doing that. I don't give a shit if I'm giving my opponent ideas. I don't care. I don't mind losing any of these folks I play with. Hell, I lose to Mitch half the time anyways, you know? It was just honestly pretty perfect. Actually, he's actually behind like 10 games. Yeah, 10 games out of like 490. I'm like 490 to 480. I don't know if it's still too soon for spoilers, but I love Dracula's first battles, especially the comeback in the first game. Well, you know what? I got lucky. But you know what? In the last couple of weeks, I've gotten pretty unlucky. So, you know, luck comes back around. Yeah, everybody roots for Dracula. You know, it's all fun and games until you... Well, he wasn't a nice guy, but you know what? It seems like as long as you didn't double-cross him, and you stayed loyal, you were okay. You were okay with him. He did not, he had zero tolerance for double crossing you. And he would just be like, that guy needs to be spanked. Right. Let's shove a pole up his ass. Like, whoa, dude, that's a little too far, you know? It was just like, he was all or nothing, you know? It was all or nothing. So, needless to say, the Forest of Impalement added extra, yeah. Yep. Yeah, that worked out nice. You know, the most important thing for me is that I like how the army turns out. The fact that it wins games, that's cool too. But, you know, I love my Turks. And my Turks, those poor bastards, every time they win one, they lose two. So, but that's just what it is. I like playing them, you know. And I do like talking through the moves. Because then when you talk through the moves, somebody can't say, oh, well, you know that could have happened. You shouldn't have done that. Well, I know that could happen. That's why I talk through what the options are. And then, you know, make a decision on what the best thing is and then why. I think it helps answer a lot of people's questions. And it actually helps you as a player as well so that you can process verbally what you're doing and why. It's okay to talk to yourself. As long you can even argue with yourself. You're just not allowed to lose the argument. If you're arguing with yourself and lose the argument, you got problems, folks. You know, that's going down the wrong direction. They'll make a movie about your life and they won't let you watch it. What about villainy, Tony? Is that allowed? Villainy? What do you mean villainy? Elaborate, my friend. What about villainy? I play villains. I have no problem playing villains. It's just a game. I'm not a villain in real life, so, you know. I am a devout pacifist. I don't know about devout. Devout would be just like, this guy's lighting you on fire. Oh, okay, well, I'll just act like I don't care. No, I'm not devout to being a pacifist. I'm a pacifist every day, you know. So I'm a warmonger on the battlefield, you know. But it is just a game. Be a better world if we could all resolve our differences in a war game on tabletop with little figures, you know. But don't know about villainy. Maybe you responded. It hasn't come up yet. We'll see. We'll take a look. We'll continue painting this guy's fleshy parts. But yeah, a couple of weeks before, man, I had some horrible pip discrepancies. But you know, it is what it is. You know, the other guy same thing could happen to him. I've won games because I've rolled extremely well and my opponent hasn't. It's just part of it, you know? Oh my, Salma Hayek is in this movie. Now she is a fine damsel. You know the first movie I think about with her is From Dusk Till Dawn. I think that was like the first thing she was in. And Actually, that's the first movie I saw. What's his face in? I also Clooney. That was a while ago. It's like 92, 93. All right. Add some more of the flesh color here. Oh. There's just so few things to watch that are worth watching. When you get down to it, I mean, they might be entertaining, but... And everybody has very different opinions about what things to watch. I mean, there's one movie that I saw on Netflix, and there's a lot of movies, like, for instance, one half of it will be awesome, and the other half is like, what happened? Did everybody, like, go to sleep? Like, there's one movie that really my kind of movie, okay? There's certain kind of movies that I really enjoy. I enjoy, like, counter-terrorist, hostage, payback kind of stuff. And I enjoy, well, one movie that is my kind of movie was this Netflix original that came out about a year and a half ago or whatever. And it was called This Is How It Ends. And the first half of the movie is awesome. And the second half of the movie, it's like, what happened? Did somebody come in and murder all the writers? You know? I am undefeated in self-arguments. Just villainy in general. I'm undefeated in... I don't know what you're... Maybe I need to drink whatever you're having. I don't know. The first half of that movie was awesome. And then it just went like, what the hell happened? You know, and first of all, it doesn't have an ending, which, you know, I am like anti-poetry from the standpoint of like, well, what's the poem about? Well, what do you think is it about? Wrong answer. Wrong freaking answer. That's not what I enjoy. It could be, you know, maybe a couple different endings or whatever, but that whole, well, what do you want it to be, you know, kind of crap. That's a little too artsy for me. But yeah, that movie was like, man, this movie's going to be great for Mitch. I'll tell him about it. And then after I was done, I'm like, Mitch, don't ever waste your 2 hours of your life watching this. Yeah, I thought that was going to be freaking great. It's got Forrest Whitaker in it. I like Forrest Whitaker. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I think that's the first movie everyone who likes her think about. That was one spectacular dance. I don't only saw it one time. I don't remember. I don't like her. I don't dislike her. You know, she's all right, I guess. She's not unattractive, but I've seen better. Please show us a close-up of that knight's shield. There you go. You got it. Let's do that. Hopefully this can behave. I'll show you a close-up of both knights' shield. How about that? How about them apples? Oh, crap. I got to move the cardboard around. It's going to look... It's not going to be bright enough because the lighting is just... All right. How do you turn this backwards? There we go. Might have to. I want to clean up that ring around his neck, around his nose a little bit. And then the other one is just. No, my crazy juice is all mine. Damn it, not sharing. Does alcohol make you crazy? It doesn't make me crazy. It makes me better, honestly. It makes me chill. And I don't know that there's something I drink that, well, champagne will mess me up. I won't do crazy stuff in it. I'll just Champagne, the bubbles, man. I don't do well with bubbles. Bubbles just alcohol and carbonation just take me way too fast where I won't be able to drive. Let's put it that way. What else have I seen her in? Desperado. I don't know that I've seen her in that many things. No, I haven't tried to avoid her, just not in that many things. That may be it. I'm not a big movie person. Or, the plot's got to be something interesting. So, certainly I've seen her in something else. I just don't remember. Jennifer Connelly is still a beauty. Made my kids watch Labyrinth last week. I had never seen it until I saw it with my daughter. Maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, what is she in recently? She looked really old. I forget what she was in. You're actually drinking Canada Dry Ginger Ale, and I think the Canadians spiked my drink. You know what I don't like? Are there any Canadians on here? I have no problem with Canadians. Canadians are cool. I don't like that Canadian whiskey, that blended crap. No, I'm not drinking Canadian Club or Seagrams or any of that stuff. That's just not my thing. I don't really like Crown either. Doesn't mean I won't drink it. It's just a little too fakey tasting. Maybe tomorrow night we'll have a drinking set. No, if I drink while I'm on here, I'll fall asleep. I won't be any funnier. I might be less funny. Yeah, I'd be like, get the wife, hurry up and leave so we can have some fun painting sessions. Jennifer Connelly, was she in, a movie that I liked growing up, and it seems like it's just got, and it may suck now if I watched it, but a movie that should be like, get play, was The Rocketeer. Isn't she in The Rocketeer? I thought The Rocketeer was a really cool Indiana Jones-ish kind of movie. And I think she plays the girl in that. And Wild Wild West. I did not see Wild Wild West. You should see her in Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2. Those movies are hilarious. I've seen Grown Ups, the first one. Don't remember anything about it. I didn't see Grown Ups 2. I don't think I saw Grown Ups 2. Yeah, The Rocketeer, man. I remember seeing that in the movie theater. That was a good old pulp type movie. I think that was even a Disney movie, wasn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I think she's the girl in that. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll be a piece of shit. But I remember, I remember liking it at the time. Hey, I'm allowed to change my opinion. It's just, memories are only so good. So, Um, yeah, I think she's pretty close to my age, within a couple years of it, because I'm like, she's about the age in that movie that I was when the movie came out. So talking about Labyrinth. I remember watching it. It was a little too music video-y. That's all what I remember. But you know, it is David Bowie, so you know he's going to try to get in what he does. And I've never seen Willow. Never seen Willow. And it's on Disney now. It's on Disney Plus or whatever. Is it worth, should I waste my time watching Willow? Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow is also cool. I think I started watching it and I hated it. I'm picking on whiskey. I like Irish whiskey only. Okay. Never had Irish whiskey I haven't liked. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. Is that the one with Angelina Jolie with the eye patch or something like that? I think I watched it. And it's got Jude Law in it or something. I think I watched it and I'm like, oh, this is going to be like it came out at the time that I was playing that video game called Crimson Skies. And yeah. You know what, the first thing I think of is a Rocketeer, the bubble gum. Where he puts the bubble gum in the hole in the GB plane. Yeah. That's what I remember. I don't remember anything else other than Dalton's the Howard Hughes Nazi file guy. Yeah, I thought it was a fun movie for, what was it, 1990, 1991? 89, 90, 91, one of those three. All right. I was watched clips of at lunchtime today. A show I used to freaking love, and I forgot how good it was. Married with Children. Married with Children is still some hilarious, funny shit. Now, some people with thick skin, wouldn't be able to handle it. But man, that is a funny freaking show. Classic stuff. And I watched quite a few of them. But, back in the old days, when TV was on, they may have played them in order, but you weren't able to watch them in order because invariably you'd miss an episode and then you wouldn't. But now, we got all this modern technology. We're like, I'll just watch season 1 all the way through and you don't miss an episode of it. Yeah, Married with Children. That's a funny freaking show. She's born 1970, so she's an old woman then. she's a year older than I am. She's an old woman. Yes, watch Willow. Okay. We'll watch Willow. Hey, I'm willing to give anything 10 minutes. 10 cents? No. You don't take my 10 cents away from me. No. Give everything 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, if I'm not captivated or I'm like, man, this is just bull, there's other things to watch. Certainly you'll be captivated by then, You give it as long as you give Raiders of the Lost Ark the first scene when he's in the temple and the boulder thing. Because if you watch that and you're not captivated by that movie at that point, you're a loser. Something wrong with you. You're probably dead. Or just give them the Raiders of the Lost Ark beginning temple scene time. What is that? 10 minutes, 12 minutes, something like that. My favorite movie. And I was fortunate enough to watch it in the movie theater. Which is unusual because that's a time period when I was like 10 and, you didn't go to a lot of movies. I remember a neighbor was like, hey, let's go watch a movie. It's like, what's a movie about? Raiders of the Lost Ark? Oh, okay. So it's about Noah, right? Noah. That's the only freaking ark I knew about is freaking Noah and the ark. I didn't know about them. I didn't know about the Ark of the Covenant. I didn't know jack shit about that. And the guy that plays he didn't even know him as Harrison Ford. The guy that plays Han Solo's in it, and the rest is history. My favorite movie. There may be a movie that I like better than that one, but it doesn't come to mind readily. That is my, somebody says, hey, what's your favorite movie? Boom, that one right there. Married with Children, my favorite sitcom. It's funny as shit. It is funny as shit. It's funny because the shows that are sitcoms that I enjoy are the ones where everybody gets picked on and nobody comes out a winner. It's not like the Roadrunner and the Coyote, okay? The Roadrunner is always going to come out winning, and the Coyote is always going to have shit on his face, okay? No, I like the ones where everybody gets picked on, and I like that, Oh, man. What a great show. Back when people had thicker skin. What happened? Did the internet soften us all up? That's a funny show. Well, this is the guy that I was going to give black hair. And I'm like, well, it kind of has a dark horse, but I think I'm going to stick with it. I think I'm going to give him black hair and a black mustache. Mustache. 5 viewers. The loyal 5. Probably all dudes also. I saw my demographics. I don't think I've had a single female watcher. I'm not trying to run women off. This is not really material that appeals to them. And that's fine. I'm not watching needlepoint videos either. My favorite movie, Dr. Zhivago. I've never seen it. Did you like the Jeffersons or Steve? Did you like Jefferson or Steve Moore as the partner to Al? Oh, so I need to watch that. I think I like the second guy better. I like the second guy. The second guy that reminds me of Dirk Benedict. And it's funny because those two guys actually are in a movie. I don't remember what the guy's name is. Okay, yeah, I do. He has the same Irish last name as the doctor as on Scrubs. Give me a second. Mc something. McGillick something. Anyways, even though they're not related. So Dirk Benedict and him were actually in a movie. I was like looking up what movies he was in, and I'm like, holy shit, they're both in a movie, and they both look similar, ish to me. I put them in the same box, Yeah, that was really funny. Thought Jefferson was a better sidekick to Al. Today the show wouldn't fly. Why? See, that's the thing about is back then they talked about things, but they didn't show stuff. Now it's like visually like more inappropriate. Yeah, I didn't realize that they recast those guys. If you're playing Warhammer, maybe some chicks, but not for historicals. That's okay. It's not like that's what I'm studying to do. Oh, let me go fish for girls. Nah. I'm even if I was in that time period, I still wouldn't care. You know, people are like, oh, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't do anything different. I wouldn't do that different. I'll do my thing. They'll show up when, you know. Warhammer. I'm not stupid to Warhammers to get girls. Oh, man. No, I just never got into it. I love their. I don't like their business practice. You know, I don't like their business model of discontinuing shit. That's really the business practice I'm talking about. Discontinuing stuff. Like, get me all psyched up for something and leave me hanging. That doesn't work for a slow-ass painter like me. But I do like their figs. I don't like how they've gone to plastic on everything, but, you know. I do like their figs. I have one. God, it's big. Just... Yeah, it's a wolf. You know why? Because it says wolf on the little stand of it. I've never played any of their games, though. Ever. It's not true. I played Hero Quest one time. This one guy, kind of locally, he ran a game, and he had all the terrain, everything painted. It was really cool. And I had a lot of fun playing a dwarf. Never played a dwarf in anything before. And that was fun. That was fun talking like a dwarf at the appropriate times. Not the whole time, but, you know, when something funny happened, you know, he'd get his little thought bubble or whatever his comment was on what would happen at that time. So, I've never seen Dr. Zhivago. That's stunning. No, I've never seen it. And I also have never seen, speaking of old movies that are in color that I haven't seen, I've never seen Gone with the Wind. And that would be Jefferson. They just play off one another perfectly. Ed O'Neill is hilarious. Yeah. Their models are oversculpted. Most modern models are oversculpted. They are. They are. A lot of models have really big cheekbones. And, you know, there's people with really big cheekbones, but not in your whole damn army, you know. Saw one of those things. One of those mornings where you wake up and you turn on it, you boot up your phone. Well, my phone's always on, but that's regardless. I look at the news and you get one of those things you get sucked into, you know, 50 actors that are difficult to work with or something like that. And this one was, you know, some article about women and cheekbones and how most men prefer women with really pronounced cheekbones. I'm like, not me. But, yes, they are, Spencer. Yeah. Oh, I better check to make sure I don't have a little message. Oh, crap. Let's see. How do I do this? Okay, there we go. Nothing? Nothing? No? No. Okay. Hero Quest is fun, yeah. I have it on my phone, and it's a decent little game, but those type of games you need interaction with other people. You know, that's the kind of role playing I like. I don't like this heavy role playing like, okay, I'll check for traps. Yeah, or you know, that kind of stuff, that's not for me, you know. Yeah, we had fun with that. And the guy did a really good job. He did all the terrain in 3D and had the characters, and he put a lot of work into it. This is starting to get into the time zone where I may have to break off to bring the daughter home, or she may get a ride back. So we'll see. She's over at a friend of hers' house. So weather's been kind of iffy. I didn't want her driving at night. You know, it's not particularly far, but one thing I'd rather not have to worry about. So. Never seen Gone with the Wind. I haven't. I haven't tried to avoid it. I just haven't seen it. Sorry. And I haven't seen a whole lot of really old movies either. My favorite old movie, and I did show it to my daughter, and I think it's still a great freaking movie, is Rear Window. And I don't know if the movie's that great or just I have a thing for Grace Kelly, but that's an awesome movie. That's an awesome movie because it's violent, but you don't have to see the violence. You know what I mean? Like it's done. They don't do stuff like that anymore. They gotta like leave nothing for the imagination. That's my favorite old movie. Not that I've seen a ton of them either. My wife claims that she can't watch that movie. She'd be too stressed out. She doesn't. She likes happy movies. She's terrible movie watcher. Terrible movie watcher. She pretty much only watch comedies. Only watch comedies, and it's got to be a comedy, got somebody in it that I can stand, which is most people. Occasionally be some act. Oh, I'm not dealing with them anymore. I'm not looking at them for 2 hours. I don't want to look at them for 2 hours. Yeah, you hear that? That's the sky being unhappy. Which is, I'll be honest with you, it rains a lot here, and there's a fair amount of thunderstorms, but it's rarely at night. It's rarely at night, and it's very strange to have. Well, it's been like this all freaking day long. So. Oh, you guys are hidden behind the comments here. Quiet Man with John Wayne is good. Hitchcock is always great. Looking at the night, you painting, I agree. You should paint the horse, tack furniture, a nice contrasting color. Difficult sometimes with a historical miniature. Maureen O'Hara is my favorite old-time actress. She plays his wife in that movie. Huh. And I've only seen like 5 or 6 Westerns. Maybe less. I have such a hard time. Like, you sit there and you watch TV, especially now. I'm like, if I have time to watch TV, it's going to be in my lunch break. It's not going to be, now. Like, okay, I can either paint stuff and hang out, so to speak, or watch something. Well, screw watch something, I'm going to have to click on this from time to time to make sure that... It's strange. This screen goes totally black. Oh, I got a text here. Let's see what we got here. Can you pick me up at 10, please? So I will say, reply, yes. So based on that, I got another 15 minutes here. And then I'm out until tomorrow morning. Probably come back, go to bed anyway. So, hey, if we didn't get this guy finished, we didn't get this guy finished. I had it. Dudes. I've had a good time. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm going to clean this guy up with the... You know, we didn't put the same metal down last time. We put the next step up one, which would be not mithril silver. That's crazy talk. That's going all the way to the top. It's, here it is. Not Ironbreaker. Is that Ironbreaker? Ironbreaker, there's another one. Maybe it is Ironbreaker. What's this one called? Oh, this is Lead Belcher. That's the dark one. Okay. Ironbreaker. Sad to say, but my second favorite movie is Taxi Driver. Okay, so about Taxi Driver. I'd never seen it until like 2 years ago. And I can see why it had the impact that it did because of that scene at the end. I was surprised how good Sybil Shepherd looked. She was absolutely beautiful in that. I was surprised. I'm like, damn. One of those movies I'll probably never watch again, you know. But I had to see it. It was one I was avoiding that. And wasn't avoiding it. I just never gotten a chance to see it. And yeah, I saw it about 2 years ago, something like that, for the first time. And I could see where it had the, you know, it was very violent for its time, you know. But I'm kind of done with him. You know, like I said, I'm kind of done with these New Yorkie people. Because I just feel like it's just almost like another planet. They live in a world that is so alien to me. You know, so I'm done with Pacino and him. I don't want to see any more movies with those guys. I've seen him enough different stuff, and it's always the same, kind of the same shtick, you know. You're a huge Western fan. Most of our thunderstorms happen at night up here. Interesting. The sky just erupts in flashing bolts of lightning. I hate lightning. Am I the official alarm clock again? Yes, you are! Tick-tock! You saved me that morning. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. Well, the first thing I'm thinking is, why do you need me to wake you up? You have a freaking alarm on your clock, on your phone. It's just a backup plan. You had one job to do. Wake up on time. Yeah, you're Flavor Flav, TikTok. I got one of the guys that I work with, and he always shows up at the wrong time, and I call him Captain Timing. I said, I need to get you a big clock like Flavor Flav. You're walking around. Always show up at the wrong time. Like nothing will happen, and then all of a sudden, within like a minute, like 10 things happen at once. That's when he shows up. That guy's still alive. I don't know. I know about as much about rap music as I do about country music, so don't ask me. We'll skip that category. And the other movie I saw for the first time relatively recently, and I mean the last 5-6 years, was The Shining. I'm like, I gotta see what this is all about. Never get those 2 hours back. I was sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for something to happen, and it never did. It was like a non-event. So the one Stephen King movie that I've seen and I like, and I've actually seen it twice, both of the times in the movie theater, was Misery. I thought Misery was great. And not a horror movie, you know, because I don't really watch horror. That was a really cool movie. I really liked that. And I like Khan. So that helps. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. TikTok, MF. That's good. No, that was good. The problem with me staying up till even this time is I'm just beat, you know, and I'm just last couple nights I've been trying to go to the gym most of the nights, usually with the family and stuff. By the time you get done about 8:30, whatever, I'm ready to go to bed. And as a matter of fact, I think yesterday I went to bed before 9. I'm just tired, you know. I'm gonna wake up at 5 anyways, and there's just isn't anything worth staying up for, you know. So I think we're gonna finish this guy in the morning. We're gonna close this thing up, and then we'll be back at. We'll try to see how early we can start. I'm gonna wake up at 5, and maybe we can be on by 5:30. So we'll catch you guys next time in the morning if you guys didn't get your fill. And I'll take Music I Refuse to Listen to for 400, Alex. I like Doctor Sleep better, which was a sequel to The Shining. Oh, I never heard of that one. Doctor Sleep. Okay, it's got to be better. I thought The Shining was just... You know, the thing with Nicholson is he's always crazy. So the fact that he got crazier was like, you're already crazy to begin with. You acted like a lunatic from the beginning, you know? You hadn't even set foot in the damn house and you're already crazy. All right. Until next time, thanks for coming by, and we'll have some other crazy mayhem. Finish these two guys tomorrow, and you guys get some sleep, and we'll catch you on the flip side. What about